This is a catastrophe for the American dream and a dire crisis. We have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat.
Donald Trump gave a speech in Detroit, Michigan, which was supposed to be about the economy, but it was anything but. This thing turned into a disaster from the outset. Right away, Donald Trump insulted Detroit and said the whole country will look like this city if Vice President Kamala Harris is your president. Play this clip.
I don't think anything that we're talking about today is high on our list. The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
Well, speaking at the Detroit Economic Club, attacking Detroit doesn't seem like the smartest idea, but what do I know? Here, Donald Trump then talks about, well, I'll just let you hear it.
We allowed them to come in and raid and rape our country. That's what they did. Oh, he used the word rape. That's right. I used the word rape. They raped our country.
Of course, now it should be noted that Donald Trump was found liable of sexual assault, which the judge said is the equivalent of being found liable for rape. Just very triggering hearing Donald Trump say that over and over again. And again, he's not even talking about the economy in this speech. I mean, here he's saying the biggest threat to democracy is stupid people. Let's play it.
You see, that's the real threat to democracy, stupid people. That's the threat. Our biggest threat to democracy is stupid people.
And the next thing Donald Trump focuses on is, of course, himself. Most of the speech he was just talking about himself and ranting and raving like a lunatic. But here, Donald Trump continues to claim that he won this award for Michigan's Man of the Year, which he never actually won. And he's been fact-checked. He never won this award. There's no such award as Michigan Man of the Year. But watch as he tries to explain that he won this award. And you'll see the constant cognitive glitches here. Just watch this. Let's play it.
They wanted to make her look as good as possible, make her look better. A big problem in our country is the fake news. We have such fake news. I mean, I've had a recent thing where, as an example, an Obama disciple named Peter Baker, he writes for the failing New York Times. He wrote a piece about me. And just one of the many things he said that was wrong, but he said that I would go around saying that I was honored here years ago as the Man of the Year or whatever. And I talked about how your car industry, this was long before, many years before I ran for president, maybe 18, 20 years ago. And he made the statement that never took place, that honor never took place. I was never honored here, which was quite insulting, actually. And I didn't remember the specifics of it. It was 18 or 20 years ago. But he said it never took place. Very much like Kamala, she said she worked at McDonald's and she didn't. And I didn't want to get into that. So what I did is I asked my people, you got to find it. When? It was like 19 years, 17, it was a long time. But I was honored. And guess what they found that I was? Right here. Nice looking young guy. No, it was a long time ago. So this was in, let's see, this was an update of the article that they originally printed. It says, Oakland County GOP to honor Donald Trump, former president, to speak at upcoming Lincoln Day fundraising dinner. And it says down here, the county party gave Trump the Man of the Year award at the dinner too. And he was honored as Man of the Year. So here's your article right here. Oakland Press, Oakland County GOP to honor Trump. And I have a man in the failing, fake New York Times, disgraceful paper. They ought to be ashamed. Whatever they say, believe the opposite. Who knows how long they're going to be around? It's killing our country. This kind of stuff, it's killing our country. It's really terrible.
Okay, so you heard what he said there. Trump was saying that he was honored as the Man of the Year like 18, that's what he said, like 18 to 20 years ago. And then the proof, he says, is an award from the Oakland County GOP for a former president. And as one person noted, you haven't been a former president for 18 to 20 years. So again, probably very delusional here. Now, Donald Trump, I guess when he's trying to talk about the economy where the stock market right now is booming, even though Donald Trump's behind in the polls, and even though the polls have nothing to do with the stock market right now, Donald Trump says that the reason the stock market is going up is because he's doing well in the polls. Play this clip.
And there are many people saying, in particular, highly respected analysts like Scott Bessent, one of the top analysts on Wall Street, that the only reason that the stock market has gone up is because Donald Trump is doing very well in the polls, and it looks like he's going to win. A lot of people are saying that. Who knows? But a lot of people.
Again, it's just the most ridiculous, offensive thing in the world. Just the constant stuff that he's saying over and over again. So here he's trying to tell some story. And again, he loses track of the story in his mind. And you'll hear him say, they don't want to. I say, they want to. When I see things, I was, just watch this. He can't complete a sentence. Play this clip.
Aren't they approving voter ID? Democrats don't want voter ID. You know why? Because they want to cheat. But they don't want to. I say, they don't. When I first I thought I was seeing things. I thought I was I didn't hear that when I first started this whole, that say the Democrats will not approve voter ID. And it's only gotten worse. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, just passed a bill, he signed a bill that you're not even allowed to ask anybody whether or not they have voter ID. Not only...
And Donald Trump talks about women. Play the clip.
And it wouldn't resonate at all with the other side. You have to have the right messenger. Somebody said, we love Trump policy, but we don't like Trump. I think they do. They said that women don't like me. I think women love me because they want to be safe. And with me, they're safe. With other people, they're not safe. It's true.
Again, there's more word salad from Donald Trump where he can't even speak in sentences. Here he's saying something like, I'm going to make it very real. I'm going to make it very quick. But to bring it to that level, I need more time. I don't even know what he's saying here. Tell me if you know what he's saying here. Let's play it.
Car industry, brilliant again. We have to make it bigger. I'm going to make it bigger than it was ever before. Now, I'm going to make it real, very quick it's going to go. But to bring that to that level, I guess I'll need a little more time, but I won't have that time. But I'm going to hand it over to people. We're going to make this country so strong, and it's going to be so much easier to run. And I think we're going to end up actually having a lot of support from the other party. I really believe that. I think it's too basic. It's too basic.
Then Donald Trump, after doing that, because everything he does is projection and confession, says that Vice President Kamala Harris is speaking in word salad. Let's play it.
Just with you, after watching her on 60 Minutes and on watching that horrible statement that she made, they call it a word salad. I don't really like those words because it was really worse than that. But after watching that, I don't think she's interested in 33. I don't think she has any idea what's happening, okay? I think she's dumber than hell. And we've had enough of that for 4 years. We're not going to have it any longer because
he talks about things coming by cylinders and no wings. Again, this is the ranting and raving of a mad person. But judge for yourself. Play it.
That was the first I realized. I said, who the hell did that? I saw engines about 3-4 years ago. These things were coming, cylinders, no wings, no nothing. And they're coming down very slowly, landing on a raft in the middle of the ocean someplace with a circle. Boom. Reminded me of the Biden circles that he used to have, right? He'd have 8 circles and he couldn't fill them up. But then I heard he beat us with the popular vote. I don't know. Couldn't fill up the 8 circles. I always loved those circles. They were so beautiful. They were so beautiful to look at. In fact, the person that did them, that was the best thing about the level of that circle was great. But they couldn't get people, so they used to have the press stand in those circles because they couldn't get the people. Then I heard we lost. Oh, we lost. No, we're never going to let that happen again. But we've been abused by other countries. We've been abused by our own politicians, really more than other countries.
Then Donald Trump talks about the amount of debt that the country currently has. By the way, Donald Trump added about $8 to $9 trillion in debt, more debt than anybody in the history. Let's play it.
Negotiated these deals. They were so bad. It's amazing that we even exist, but we have 36 trillion in debt. We do have 36 trillion. We can't forget that. So it's not like, oh, gee, that's been, we've been a little bit unlucky or something. No, we've been just for years and years and years, we've been accumulating. We'd have these deficits that are monstrous. We had 5, 6, 7, 800 billion deficit with China, just alone with China.
And by the way, in terms of Donald Trump being the contributing factor to inflation and adding debt, don't take my word for it. Take Nikki Haley's word for it. Here, play this clip.
I don't care about polls. What I care about the fact is that no one is telling the American people the truth. The truth is that Biden didn't do this to us. Our Republicans did this to us too. When they passed that $2.2 trillion COVID stimulus bill, they left us with 90 million people on Medicaid, 42 million people on food stamps. No one has told you how to fix it. I'll tell you how to fix it. They need to stop the spending. They need to stop the borrowing. They need to eliminate the earmarks that the Republicans brought back in. And they need to make sure they understand these are taxpayer dollars. It's not their dollars. And while they're all saying this, you have Ron DeSantis, you've got Tim Scott, you've got Mike Pence. They all voted to raise the debt. And Donald Trump added $8 trillion to our debt. And our kids are never going to forgive us for this. And so at the end of the day, you look at the 2024 budget, Republicans asked for $7.4 billion in earmarks. Democrats asked for $2.8 billion. So you tell me who are the big spenders. I think it's time for an accountant in the White House.
Vice President.
We don't want to take Nikki Haley's word for it. Take Ron DeSantis' word for it about the debt that Donald Trump added when he was in office. Play this clip.
And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now.
On the other hand, President Biden was exhibiting leadership, and President Biden was addressing the fallout from the recent hurricanes, and he's being asked just the dumbest questions by the media. Listen to this.
Mr. President, have you spoken with former President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Will you hold him accountable?
Here he is again just being asked really horrible questions by the media. Let's play it.
You said you were going to hold those accountable.
Public will hold them accountable. You better in the press hold them accountable because you know the truth.
Do you plan to speak with former President Trump?
No.
Here President Biden is again.
All the things, that $750 that they're talking about, but Mr. Trump and all those other people know it's a lie to suggest that's all they're going to get. That's bizarre. It's bizarre. They got to stop this. They're being so damn un-American with the way they're talking about this stuff. But there's going to be a need for significant amounts of money. We're already underway at trying to calculate what the cost will be because you don't want to mislead anybody.
And in case you're just wondering, how is this still close, Ben? I always see that in the comments. You showed all these clips. You've got Vice President Kamala Harris coming up with plans and visions and articulate and destroying Trump in the debate. And you got Donald Trump out there saying all of those things. So how is it even close? And I've always referred to it as sane washing. And the corporate media sane washes for Donald Trump. Take a look at the recent New York Times headlines from the past 24 hours. This is from the New York Times. In interviews, Kamala Harris continues to bob and weave. Her media swing showed how she often responds to uncomfortable questions by acknowledging them, yet not fully answering them. That was their top story, kind of attacking Vice President Kamala Harris. And here's what they say about Donald Trump talking about eugenics and Trump using the exact same rhetoric as Hitler, where Donald Trump says there are people who have bad genes who need to be dealt with because of their bad genes in this country. And then talking about, these types of genes or that types of genes. This is the New York Times headline. In remarks about migrants, Donald Trump invoked his long-held fascination with genes and genetics. Donald Trump, in other words, using Hitler eugenics type rhetoric. The New York Times says it's his fascination with genes. What they could be reporting, though, as well, which they should, is that inflation fell for 6 months in a row in September, hitting 2.4%. America's leading the world in reducing inflation. We're also leading the world in GDP growth. Our economy is growing faster than China's economy. Our stock market is booming, even much better than China's stock market right now. There's more drilling now than ever. And they could be talking about things like this, like Vice President Kamala Harris's plan to help adult caregivers with Medicare benefit expansion. Vice President Harris is introducing a new plan to expand Medicare benefits so that the program covers the cost of long-term home care for older Americans. The plan was announced on The View on ABC, and it's aimed to help the, quote, sandwich generation take care of their aging parents. According to a Pew Research poll, nearly a quarter of all American adults fall into that category, needing to take care of their parents while also still raising their own children. There are so many people in our country who are right in the middle. They're taking care of their kids and they're also taking care of their parents. Under Vice President Kamala Harris's plan, Medicare will cover home care for the first time ever for all of our nation's seniors and those with disabilities on Medicare who need it, in addition to vision and hearing benefits to help seniors live independently for longer. So I think there should be an emphasis, that's what we're going to do here on the MeidasTouch Network, to talk about those things, to call out Donald Trump's lies and his behavior and not normalize it. Where he says things that look like Hitler or mimic Hitler, we're going to make graphics. We're going to show those things. We're going to call him out unapologetically. We're going to keep building this together. So thanks for watching. Hit subscribe and let's get to 4 million subscribers together.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.